Hey everyone, Ben from Chavez Cartel. What is the biggest hurdle musicians face while trying to get heard? I think it's the competition. There are so many good artists, good bands, making good music. We're up and coming and we're all competing for the same spots, for the same festival shows, for the same support tours, and not necessarily competing with one another, we're just competing to get considered, you know. And yeah, unfortunately we keep hearing about festivals getting closed down and venues getting closed down, meaning these opportunities are getting slimmer and slimmer, but the quality artists there's probably more and more of us, you know. So yeah, the good thing is there's a lot of good music out there to be discovered, but yeah, it's a big hurdle when you're trying to cut through, because there's not only Chavez Cartel making good music, there's plenty of good artists, you know, and we're all for it, you know. We want to hear good music, we want it everywhere, but yeah, I think that's a big struggle for artists. There's a lot of good ones all trying to get into the same places. Yeah, so we need more opportunities, more venues, more festivals, not less. Stop closing them. Cheers.
The biggest hurdles releasing new music in 2024 is probably just dealing with the sheer volume of new music that's coming out every week, the quantity of new music constantly being released. You know, there's a lot of kind of noise. It's quite difficult to cut through, and also to, you know, the reliance on platforms such as TikTok and places like that, where there's almost a certain pressure to you know, to have a viral moment, you know, on these various platforms in order to gain attention, which kind of takes away from the music a little bit sometimes.
Okay, so what's the biggest hurdle for cutting through right now as a musician? Well, we've got a lot of competition out there for getting people's attention. So on TikTok, on Instagram, these reels where people are the average person, not musicians, not entertainers, people just trying to go viral, trying to come up with a really cool clip, something that makes you click on it, something that's ridiculous. You know, a chihuahua riding a tricycle, smoking a cigar. It is an absolute fight out there for people's attention, just a tiny bit of it. And what you're doing is you're trying to promote a song. And a song is, what, 3 minutes? So you get to have a 60-second clip, something that's going to really cut through all of the garbage. And it's spectacle. It's spectacle. And yeah, it's just wild at the moment. So you have people on YouTube, let's say, running channels about this, how to cut through. They're giving advice on what to do, and that's say something really interesting, make it wild. One guy said, say something controversial. I don't think we need much more controversy in the world right now. So there isn't a good solution to cut through. I think for musicians, what you're hoping is that you can build a following through your touring, maybe get a placement in something, like get one of your songs in a viral video, get a song that's in a TV show, because otherwise labels are telling their artists to post 3 to 4 clips a week, posts, to try to stay relevant, to try to keep people's attention. And these clips have to be you sharing some aspect of your life, or like I said, something really interesting, something eye-catching. And I can only think what Johnny Cash would think of that. If he said, hey John, you're not posting enough on Instagram. Could you get on there and say something interesting? Maybe talk about how you really hate cilantro, or, you know, say something weird, and can you put on a funny hat? He'd slap you across the room. And that's where we're at. We're at a really strange place in music right now. So I think the hardest part to cut through is to get anyone to look at you for very long, and then follow you. And a lot of people don't want to follow you unless you have a lot of followers. So it's a real catch-22 right now. And yeah, I wish all the other artists out there the best of luck in this landscape.
Okay, so the question is, what are some of the challenges to being heard as an artist? Well, there are in fact many challenges, and I could probably talk for hours about them. The first is, I guess, the sheer volume of competition. There are so many new artists, so much new music that's arriving every day, not just locally, internationally, and finding your opportunity in and amongst that huge volume of music is indeed a massive challenge. The way to kind of start to find your stage and your limelight is to surround yourself in great people who believe in your art and nurture their support by delivering on your promise, which is essentially creating great songs, getting behind them, supporting them, and being prepared to stand up for them. And I think that if you have great belief in what you're doing and perseverance, and you really embrace opportunities that are presented, then the folks that are around you and want you to do well will rally behind you. And so it takes an army for an individual to succeed in sport and in most endeavours, and certainly it's the case in music. And then I think it takes a little bit of luck. So that's the intangible, or the X factor, either in you as an artist or in the time and place that you arrive, where that opportunity is swirling around. And so I think that to capture those intangible opportunities, to be in the right place at the right time, you've got to be busy and active in the industry, always sharing your points of view and content online, and being active on the live music circuit, and just being really involved in the industry. Full stop. Things don't just happen. You really have to work at them, and that's the name of the game. Good luck. I'm Gavin Mac.
I think it's all returned to live performances, and so I think there should be a massive assistance in that world. We don't make any money from CD sales or that anymore, so definitely more financial support to be able to put things on, and a quicker turnaround as well too, like instead of having to wait 3 months whether you receive a grant or not. That's one major thing. And the second thing I think is there should be a high percentage of Australian content on all radio stations, all the commercial ones, and starting to celebrate Australian music a lot more. Yep. Thanks. Bye.